I'm gonna demonstrate ambulation with a gait belt. Good morning, Christy. My name's Becky. I'm your CNA, and we need to take you for a little walk, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna clean my hands. It's gonna take me a couple of minutes to get everything set up. I'm gonna rub them until they're dry. Move this out of our way, over here. And we have your call light. Okay. I need a gait belt. And socks that are non-skid so you don't slip. Okay. So I'm going to put your bed down so we can get your feet flat on the floor. I'm going to lock my bed brakes so it doesn't take off running when we do. All the way down. I'm going to raise the head of the bed so that you don't have to pull to sit up into a sitting position. Let me know if you feel any discomfort. Okay? Almost there. It's a little like being on a carnival ride. Okay, you're gonna put your socks on.
I know.
We don't want you slipping and falling. Okay, I'm going to have you sit forward for me and put your hands on your bed, on the bed to assist you in turning. I'm going to put one arm behind your shoulders, the other underneath your knees. I'm going to count to 3, and when I say swing, I want you to swing your legs over the side of the bed, okay? 1, 2, 3, swing. Good, you all right? Okay, can you scoot forward for me? Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put this belt on you so it gives me something to hang on. I'm going to put it right around your waist. We're going to snug it up kind of like a dog collar. You wouldn't want me pulling on your clothes, would you? There we go. Make sure this goes in the front so that the teeth attach. Okay. I'm going to stand right here in front of you so that I can stabilize your legs. I'm going to grab a hold of the gait belt in the back. I'm going to count to 3. When I say stand, I want you to stand up, okay? 1, 2, 3, stand. You okay? Okay. Put my hand back here underneath the gait belt. And we're going to walk around to the chair. So whenever you're ready. You have to make sure you take at least 10 steps. Okay, I'm going to have you turn around and back up until you feel the chair against the back of your legs. Reach back for the arms of the wheelchair, please. I'm going to count to 3 and you can sit. 1, 2, 3, sit. Good. Now, can you scoot back for me so that you're all the way back in the wheelchair? Thank you. I'm going to take your gait belt off because it doesn't match your outfit. Lean forward for me. There we go. Okay, let me get your gait belt back. Okay, here's your overbed table. Here's your water, can you reach it? And here's your call light right in your hand. Do you need anything else?
No,
Okay, I'll be back and check on you in a little while.
okay.
Clean my hands. And go to the quiet area. The partial bed bath is face, arm, hand, and axilla. In real life, partial bed bath is washing everything above the waist, including the back, and giving a back rub. At boards, they will tell you whether you're going to wash the right arm or the left arm. So I'm going to clean my hands and gather my supplies. And to do a partial bed bath, I need 2 towels, 2 washcloths, a bath blanket, and a clean gown. Because when we bathe somebody, we always change their gown. Always holding the linens away from my uniform. And I need a hamper. Good morning, Christy. My name's Becky. I'm your CNA today, and we're going to get you cleaned up. We're going to do a partial bath, okay?
Okay,
It's going to take me a couple of minutes to get everything set up.
okay.
I'm going to lock my brakes. I'm going to pull the privacy curtain. I'm going to set up my workstation. I'm going to take your call light for just a minute. So I'm going to put a towel down so I have something to lay my washcloths and my put my tub on. I'm going to get my bath basin and my soap. And I'm going to go fill the tub about halfway full with warm water, temperature of 105 degrees. I'm going to test it. Feels good to me. Christy, could you test the bath water for me, please?
Oh, it feels good.
Good. Okay. I'm going to raise the bed to a working height. And the observer, the proctor, has instructed me to wash her right arm. Working height of the bed is between the hip and the waist. I'm going to cover you with a bath blanket to keep you nice and warm, okay? And of course it's not folded right. I'm going to pull your top linens down to the foot of the bed so we don't get them wet.
Okay.
Okay. Bring this over here where I can reach it. I'm going to put both washcloths in the basin. I'm going to protect the linens here while I wash her face. We wash the face with water only. So nice, clear, clean water. I'm going to start with the eyes. Inner corner to outer corner. Turn the cloth, do the near eye. Inner corner to outer corner. Turn the cloth, wash the rest of the face, and put it back in the basin. Now I'm going to pat dry. Pat, 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 pat. Okay. Can you raise your head up for me? I need to untie your gown. Okay, down we go. You keeping her covered? Could you pull your arm out for me, please? This arm. Left arm first. There we go. Right arm. Good. Cover you back up. Now I need to protect my linens to do her arm. So I'm going to lay my towel all the way down. Okay, let's take your arm out. Make sure the towel goes all the way underneath the shoulder. I'm going to take one of the washcloths from the clear water basin, put a little bit of soap on it. And I like to start at the top and wash down the arm this way to the hand between each finger. Turn the hand over between each finger from this side. Don't forget the thumb, the back side of the arm, and the axilla. And park that here because it's soapy. Now I'm going to rinse, and I'm going to rinse in the same manner. This way. Between the fingers, up the arm, and axilla. And it can go back in the bucket. Now I'm going to pat dry. Make sure I dry between the fingers and dry the axilla. That's ready to go in the hamper. Now I'm going to put a clean gown on her. So I'm going to have you put your arms in the clean gown for me, please. Just like that. Reach around behind and tie it. I'm going to reach underneath and remove the dirty gown. Notice that she has been continuously covered, so we're not exposing any body parts other than those that we're actually working on at the time. That goes in the hamper. I'm going to gather up the gown, put it underneath the bath blanket. I'm going to reach down here, get her top linens, pull them up underneath the bath blanket. Remove the bath blanket top to bottom so that the part that was touching her feet doesn't go near her face. Straighten up her linens. Neatness counts. Everything in the hamper. Put the bed in a low position. I hope you didn't get that where it's taking air out of my mouth. Feel better?
Oh, much better.
Okay. I'm going to put the soap back where I found it. Here's your colate. Let's put it right in your hand. Here's your water. Can you reach it?
I can.
Okay. I'm going to open the curtain. I'm going to take the tub into the bathroom, empty it in the sink, rinse it a couple of times, dry it, put it back where I found it. Clean my hands. Okay, if you need anything, let me know.
I sure will. Thank you.
And go to the quiet area. We're going to give a bedpan to our patient and measure the urinary output. Good morning, Christy. My name is
hello.
Becky.
Hi.
I understand you need the bedpan.
I do.
Okay, let me just clean my hands here. Rub them till they're dry. I'm gonna lock my bed brakes. Pull the privacy curtain. I'm gonna put the bed in a high position so that I don't break my back. Up we go, again and again and again. And get the bedpan and tissue. Okay, I'm gonna have you bend your knees and push your bottom up in the air for me so I can get the bedpan underneath. Okay, down we go. How's that feel?
Oh, good.
Okay, you wanna put your legs down for me? Check the hips, make sure they're flat. I'm gonna put your head up because we empty our bladder partly by gravity. Sometimes it feels like
Yeah.
power force, doesn't it? Let me know if it gets uncomfortable. I'm gonna come up to about 60, 65 degrees. Okay, here's your tissue. I'm gonna put the trash can right here so that when you wipe, please don't put the tissue in the bedpan. Put it in the trash for me because we're gonna measure your urine and we can't measure tissue. So down we go. Okay. I'm gonna give you your call light and your water. Here's your call light. Here's your water. Can you reach it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you've finished, just put your call light on, okay?
Okay.
Clean my hands. And wait for the call light. Call light is on. Now I'm going to get a wipey so that she can clean her hands. And I'm going to put on gloves. Because anytime we're dealing with body fluids except sweat, we need to wear gloves. Hi, all done, Christy?
I am, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have you wash your hands. In the trash. Very good. Were you able to wipe yourself?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's get your bed up so we can get that thing out of there. So I'm gonna put the bed back in a high position so I don't break my back. Okay, I'm gonna put your head down. So we don't wanna bend your spine. I'm gonna use what I call the one glove method, which means I am not gonna touch anything with my left hand. I'm gonna use my right hand. Can you bend your knees for me? Push your bottom up. Remove the bedpan. I'm gonna use my clean left hand to put the bed in a low position. I will hold the bedpan out for the proctor to pour urine in it. Take it to the bathroom. Pour from the narrow end into a graduate that's sitting on a paper towel. Rinse it. Empty it into the toilet or commode. Rinse, toilet or commode. Dry it. Put a paper towel down, set it aside. And I'm going to measure it. 225 cc's or milliliters, which are the same thing. I'm going to empty it into the commode, rinse it, empty in the commode, rinse it, empty in the commode, dry it. I'm going to remove my gloves, glove to glove, skin to skin, toss them in the trash. I'm going to document my output, 225 cc's, before I forget. I'm going to take this back to where I found it, put it away along with the tissue, give her call light. Here's your call light. Here's your water. Can you reach it?
Yes, I can.
Clean my hands. If you need anything, let me know.
Okay.
Open the curtain. If I didn't already. Now, be at boards, it's wash your hands with soap and water. So I'm going to turn the water on, make sure my uniform does not touch. Moisten my hands, get lots of soap, keep my fingers down and in the sink. Briskly rub between the fingers from the front, from the back, on both hands. Make sure I get the thumb 2 inches above the wrist. And you wash for a minimum of 20 seconds. Then I do my nails in a circle to drive the soap underneath the nails. And now I can rinse, keeping the fingers down at all times. If at any time throughout the procedure you contaminate the hands by touching the sink or the faucet, you need to start over. Take a paper towel, dry fingers, hand, always going from clean to dirty, wrist, and toss it. Clean paper towel. Dry the other hand, fingers, hand, wrist, toss it, clean dry paper towel to turn off the faucet and throw it away. Okay, gonna do catheter care for the state boards, for the Board of Nursing. So I'm gonna gather my supplies, clean my hands, gather my supplies. For catheter care, I need 2 towels, 2 washcloths, don't get them against you, and a bath blanket. And of course, laundry basket. Good morning, Deborah. My name's Becky, and it's time for your catheter care, okay? So I'm going to clean my hands, lock my bed breaks, I'm going to pull my curtain I'm gonna set up my workstation. So I'm gonna open a towel, so I have someplace for the basin, the soap, and I'm going to fill the basin about half full with warm water at 105 degrees. Test it, feels great to me. Come back. Deborah, could you test this for me, please? Good, thank you. It's perfect. Now I'm going to put my gloves on. I have gloves on. I'm going to raise the bed to a working height. And I want you to remember that if you raise the bed before you get your water, you have to put the bed in a low position again to go get your water, then come back, then raise it up again, and it wastes time. You're going to have 35 minutes to complete your skills. So you don't want to waste time. With gloves on, I am putting the bath blanket on. Deborah, I'm just going to put this on to keep you nice and warm while we do your catheter care. I'm going to cover her with the bath blanket. I'm going to pull her top linens down to the foot of the bed so I don't get them wet, and keep her covered at all times. I'm going to expose only the area that I'm actually going to be cleaning. With gloves on. Now I always put a drape here. Some people put it at the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's just handy when you dry. Wring it out, put a little soap on it, and I do have gloves on. I'm going to anchor the catheters. I'm going to hang on to your catheters so I don't pull it. Open the labia, clean the urinary meatus only. Turn the cloth, clean the urinary meatus only. Pinch between my thumb and forefinger the catheter as close to the urinary meatus as I can get. Clean spot, clean it about 5 inches. Now I'm going to rinse in the same manner. Just going to anchor your catheters so I don't pull on it. Open the labia, rinse the urinary meatus, turn the cloth, rinse the urinary meatus. Pinch the catheter right at the insertion site, clean spot, rinse the catheter about 5 inches. Throw it away, I'm done. Now I'm going to dry. So I'm going to anchor the catheter, dry the urinary meatus on that side, change spots on the towel on this side, pinch the catheter, clean spot, dry it. Pull the gown down so that she's covered. Cover her up with the bath blanket, get rid of that. I'm going to pull her linens up underneath the bath blanket. Pull the bath blanket off. I still have my gloves on. Move this back out of the way. I'm going to go around to the other side because that's where the bag and the tubing is. Check and make sure the tubing is coiled flat on the bed, that it's draining. It looks really good, Deb. I'm going to put the bed down into a low position. Here's your call light. I'm going to put it right in your hand. Put the soap where I found it. Put this in here. Move the table over. Here's your table. Put it down. Still have my gloves on. Take this into the bathroom. Empty it into the toilet or the commode. Rinse. Empty. Rinse. Empty. Dry it. Set it aside. Remove my gloves. Put it away. Open my curtain. If you need anything, let me know. Take the linens out. And now I'm going to wash my hands with soap and water. Wash your hands with soap and water. So I'm going to turn the water on, make sure my uniform does not touch. Moisten my hands. Get lots of soap, keep my fingers down and in the sink. Briskly rub between the fingers from the front, from the back, on both hands. Make sure I get the thumb 2 inches above the wrist. And you wash for a minimum of 20 seconds. Then I do my nails in a circle to drive the soap underneath the nails. And now I can rinse, keeping the fingers down at all times. If at any time throughout the procedure you contaminate the hands by touching the sink or the faucet, you need to start over. Take a paper towel, dry fingers, hand, always going from clean to dirty, wrist, and toss it. Clean paper towel, dry the other hand, fingers, hand, wrist, toss it. Clean dry paper towel to turn off the faucet and throw it away. Okay, now we're going to demonstrate denture care for the state boards. And Christy, you want to go ahead and we'll do denture care for Deborah.
Okay.
So we always knock on the door.
Hello, Deborah. I'm Christy, your CNA, and I'm going to be busy over here taking care of your dentures. We're going to get those clean for you.
At the state boards, they will have the alcohol hand cleaner at the bedside.
Okay, Deborah, I'll be back shortly.
And you can line the sink either with paper towels or with a washcloth. And Christy has chosen to line the sink with paper towels. The cup will contain water, so we're going to want to empty the water off of the dentures and rinse
rinse them this way.
And empty that water off again. Okay. And at board, you will only have one, either a top or a bottom denture to clean.
Okay.
So she's going to apply a small amount of toothpaste to the brush. And it's a good idea when you clean the dentures to verbalize what surfaces you're cleaning, such as she's cleaning the, hold them down in the sink please, she's cleaning the inner gums and teeth, she's cleaning the outer gums and teeth, all of the chewing surfaces, and the inner part of the denture. Then we rinse well. Hold it in your left hand and you will rinse the denture cup and empty it. Place the dentures in the denture cup. Fill it with cool water and replace the cover. Now you can, if you desire, when you remove the dentures from the denture cup, you can actually place them in the emesis basin, but we never place them on the sink or on the table. And now she's going to remove the paper towels, put them in the trash, clean the denture brush, dry it, place it back in the emesis basin, remove her gloves, glove to glove, skin to skin. She'll clean her hands with alcohol. Always rub it until it's dry. Then return your equipment where you found it, making sure it's clean and dry.
I'm back, Deborah. I'm just returning your supplies here. Your dentures are right there in the top drawer.
And with every skill, we make sure that she has her colite and her water.
You got your water, you have your colite, and you let us know if you need anything.
Good. Then she will return to the quiet area, have a seat until she's prepared for the next skill. I'm now going to demonstrate feeding a dependent client. So I'm going to clean my hands with the alcohol. Make sure I rub it until it's dry. I'm going to gather my supplies. I need either a disposable wipe or 2 washcloths and a clothing protector. And of course, if I'm using washcloths, would you sit in the other chair for me, please? Okay, so I'm going to knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Good morning, Christy. My name's Becky. I'm your CNA. It's time for lunch. So
Okay.
get you all ready, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to place this on you. This is a clothing protector. I can be kind of sloppy, so we don't want to get anything on your clothing. I'm going to moisten the washcloth with warm water. Wring it out. I'm going to wash her hands. If she could wash her own hands, she could feed herself. So I'm going to wash her hands. Wash this one. Get between the fingers. That goes in my hamper. Now I'm going to pat dry. And the other hand. And that can go in the hamper. Now I'm going to get her tray. And we do not wear gloves to feed. At boards, you will have one food item, which will be like pudding or applesauce in a small cup. And you will have 1 8-ounce cup of water, probably, of fluid. And that 8-ounce cup will be half full. So I'm going to check and make sure that it's the right tray for the right person. You are Mary Ellen White.
I am.
And you're going to have applesauce and water today. Okay? Not allergic to apples?
Nope.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is open the applesauce. First thing I'm going to do is give her a drink. Would you take a small, no hands, a drink please? That gives me an opportunity to watch her swallow, and it also moistens the mouth and readies it for food. So I'm going to take about a half a spoonful of the applesauce or pudding, put it in her mouth, allow her to chew and swallow. You ready for another bite?
I am.
Another bite.
That's good.
About every 2 to 3 bites, I'm going to give her fluids. If it gets on her face, I will use a napkin. I never use a clothing protector to wipe her face. Then it becomes a bib and it's not age appropriate. So at the end of the meal, I'm going to take the napkin, wipe her face, make sure her hands are clean. I'm going to remove the clothing protector, put it in the hamper. I will remove the tray. And I'm going to calculate the intake. She ate about half of the pudding or applesauce, so I'm going to document that as 50% food intake. And she had an 8-ounce glass, which is 240 cc's, but they only filled it up halfway. So that would be 120 cc's. And she actually drank half of it. So that would make her intake half of 120. So her fluid intake would be 60 cc's. I'm going to make sure that she has her call-light. Here's your water. Can you reach it?
I can.
I'm going to clean my hands with alcohol, go to the quiet area, have a seat, and wait for the next skill. Okay, the next skill I'm going to demonstrate is foot care. And I'm going to clean my hands. I'm going to gather my supplies. For foot care, I need two towels, 2 washcloths, a bath blanket, a basin with soap and lotion, and a hamper. Make sure you do not get the linens next to your clothing. I'm going to knock on her door. Knock, knock, knock.
Hello.
Good morning, Christy. My name's Becky. I'm your CNA today, and it's time to do your foot care. And I've been instructed to do it on your right foot. So it's going to take me a minute to get everything set up. She's sitting in a chair, so I do not need to lock the bed brakes, but I do need to pull my privacy curtain. So I'm going to set up my workstation first. I'm going to put the bath blanket down. I'm going to move this table to the side out of my way. I'm going to put the towel down so I have something to set the tub on. I'm going to put my towel, both washcloths, my soap and my lotion. I'm going to fill my tub about halfway with water, test it, warm water, 105 degrees. I'm going to bring it back, ask her to test it for me. Is that okay?
That's good, yes.
I'm going to remove her sock on her right foot. Set it aside. I'm going to just soak your foot for 10 to 20 minutes. Okay? I can kneel on the bath blanket. Okay, time is up. I'm going to lift the foot out. Now you can wear gloves to perform this if you'd like. I know Christy's feet, so I'm not wearing gloves. I'm going to moisten both of my towels, add soap to one. Then I'm going to wash the entire foot. Make sure I'm going to wash right between your toes here. I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to rinse the entire foot. I'm going to rinse between your toes, make sure we get all that soap out. That can go back in the bucket. Now we're going to pat them dry. Make sure I pat dry all surfaces. And I'm going to verbalize, I'm going to pat, make sure we get all this moisture out from between your toes. Now, would you like your nails trimmed?
No.
Okay, they look pretty good. I'm going to put some lotion in my hand, rub it together to make sure it's nice and warm. And I'm going to put lotion all over your foot, but I'm not going to get it between your toes because it holds moisture, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pat the excess lotion off so that it's not sticky, making sure none got between her toes. I'm going to replace her sock. And if she had on a shoe, I'd also replace the shoe. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to clean up my mess. Soap and lotion. I'm going to take this into the bathroom, empty it into the commode or the toilet because it is from below the waist. Rinse it, empty it, rinse it, empty it, dry it. Come back to her bedside. Whoops. I'm going to gather up all my dirty linens. I'm going to put the call light right in her hands. Here's your water. Can you reach it?
I can.
I'm going to open my privacy curtain. I'm going to return this to the supplies, remove the dirty linen, and clean my hands with alcohol, rubbing thoroughly until it's dry. Then go to the quiet area, have a seat until we're ready for the next skill. Okay, the next skill that we're going to demonstrate that is testable is isolation gown and gloves. Measure and record output from a urinary drainage bag and hand washing. And we demonstrated hand washing earlier. So Christy is preparing to go into the isolation room. So she's going to perform hand hygiene. Then she's going to put her gown on first, and the equipment will all be found directly, immediately outside the isolation room. So she's going to put on her gown. She's going to tie it at the neck. And before she ties it at the waist, she's going to make certain that she pulls it nice and tight together so that all of her clothing in the back is covered. Your neck came undone. Now, at boards, we don't worry about whether we get it in a knot or not, simply because you will be allowed to break it to take off the gown. But you do need to make sure that you pull this gown around so that your back is completely covered, and you can verbalize that. Then she's going to put her gloves on, make sure that she pulls them up over the cuff of the gown so that all of her skin is protected. And she will gather what she needs to empty and measure the urine. So she'll get a paper towel, an alcohol prep, and an empty graduate. Because at boards, the fluid will actually be in the urinary drainage bag. So now she's going to enter the room. So she will knock on the door, call her by name.
Hi Deborah, I'm Christy, I'm your CNA, and we're just going to be emptying your urinary drainage bag.
So she's going to close her privacy curtain.
Making sure that's
She's
double
locking her
checked.
brakes. The urinary drainage bag is on this side of the bed. So she's going to put down a paper towel as a barrier, set the graduate on it, expose the drainage bag. She's going to make sure that when she opens that, she's going to pull the drain down out of its little protective envelope, point it directly into the graduate, slide the blue slide over, allow it to completely drain, and if you need to, pick that bag up, make sure that you get all of the urine out. Do not at any time allow the drain to touch the side of the graduate. Now it's completely empty. She's going to slide the closure across, the blue slide across. She's going to open her alcohol prep, clean the drain with the alcohol. Put it back in the sleeve. And before she stands, she's going to check her tubing and make sure that it's coiled flat on the bed and verbalize it's draining very well.
It's draining very well, Deborah. You're doing a good job.
So now she can take her trash. She's going to open her privacy curtain. Ensure that Deborah has her call light and that her water is within reach.
Okay, you have your call light still right here, Deborah, and your water is right here. Okay.
Then she's going to go into the restroom, set the graduate down on a clean paper towel, measure it at eye level. So she's going to squat down so that she can get a measurement.
It is at 225 milliliters.
Okay. So at boards, you're allowed to immediately document it. In real life, I don't recommend it because you have on dirty gloves. So now she's going to empty the urine into the commode or the toilet, rinse it, empty it into the commode or toilet, never empty urine into the sink. She's going to dry it. Return it to where she found it. Now she will remove her gloves, glove to glove, skin to skin, and she will remove the gown. Untie the waist now. And to remove the gown, she's going to go down inside the sleeve so that we're getting dirty to dirty. Pull it off, roll it up, down inside the other sleeve. Pull it off, make sure she's not touching the outside of the gown at all. Deposit it in the trash. And then she would document her output on her little piece of paper and wash her hands with soap and water. So you want to just clean it with alcohol for now.
Okay.
Wash your hands with soap and water. Make sure that you document the output. If you measure something, it has to be documented. And then she would return to the quiet area and wait for the next skill.